And I really had never, so my father was an architect,
Okay.
and we've always built stuff, you know, I've always built things. I'd never thought about working with metal like once ever. So I was in this space that's got a lot of other stories for me as well. Like I got in an accident in this area, it was on campus. Basically a near-death experience. So it's this kind of weird vortex space for me, like on planet Earth. I don't know, like how else to describe it. But I was walking through that space a few years later, and I just had the thought, I was like, I need to learn how to weld. Like I'd never thought about it before, once ever. I was like working towards that, but I didn't get the thought, and I was just like, I need to learn how to weld. So I immediately text one of my colleagues, and they were like, yeah, I know a guy that's looking for like an apprentice, and he's a master sculptor, does public sculpture. So his name's Marcos Cruz. And I started working with him, and I apprenticed with him for like a year, and he was basically like the Puerto Rican Iron Man. Like he was fucking super smart dude. So it was really cool to get his techniques and then apply it to what I do. You know, it's like I've never had my paintbrush like almost cut my finger off. You know what I mean? Like I've never had like
yeah, it's a different sort of risk that
yeah,
you're taking.
it's a lot. It's interesting because I had a friend out here who's a painter, and he said that to me a couple years ago. He's like, yeah, your medium's like really high risk. Or I don't know if those were his words, but he said something along those lines. And I was like, I never really heard anyone like say that to me, like who's an artist, you know? Because it sounds like I'm just talking shit, like, oh, fucking metal art, you know? It's like, cut your finger off, like. But it's true, like you gotta, it's like that whole, like I've had some close calls, I've been lucky. So like I've always made a mask like when I've had a new studio space. And they usually end up in a sculpture. So like that robot was a mask I made. But yeah, this one is like actually, you can actually put it on and shit. It's not
put it on for us.
It's not like usually they're heavy as fuck and like hella uncomfortable. But this one's not bad. So I gotta do another strap on top, but like,
that's sick.
it stays on, man.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So I can wear it around enough to like, it's not like pulling my neck down and shit.
Have you worked on any other like trophy related things?
This is a hammer.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's concrete at the end?
No, it's steel.
Oh,
just
it's
like
steel.
yeah, it's
Super
just like
cornered.
kind of sanded. And so like these things I do real fast. Like the real challenge is like thinking of another weapon, because there's like tons of weapons, but they don't all look cool. You know, it's like a hammer, like Thor's hammer. Like everyone knows what that is now. And then just the most recent one was that battle axe. I really love that one. Yeah,
this Donald Duck piece is pretty new, right?
Yeah. I still want to get this one. It's crazy because it's gotten all rusted up and shit. But I want to have Donald laying down in like, kind of like a toy box thing, or like something that looked like it came out of like the place where they stored the Ark of the Covenant in Indiana Jones, you know, like big crate thing with like a mechanical stuff inside. Have it wall mounted, and then I got a Mickey head too, so I want Mickey like kind of on the controls.
Okay.
Standing, like about to activate him.
Okay, I see. I think a lot of the references, right, they're like, it feels like recognizable, so adding sort of that like actual recognizable moment definitely feels in line with what you've done a bit.
Yeah.
It's not like people don't know what a shark is.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff that's
it's not like
pretty
abstract,
literal.
it's like kind of figurative and has a character or some sort of like almost storyline.
Yeah, and that's really with like, I mean, I think that's what I'm best at, is like there's a story here.
Yeah.
You know, and then kind of letting the sculptures kind of do their own thing.
Yeah.
Which is something I love. But yeah, I really loved like the simplicity of this. You know, it kind of looks like it was like a robot that was made when Disney was like created, you know.
Totally.
Back then, so. You know, I've used the scrap. I mean, I got fucking scrap for days. Like this is all 100% scrap. I actually found that shape in a junkyard, and I was like, that's a fucking elbow. Like,
just picked it up.
Yeah, I was like,
an elbow.
Dude, that's perfect. Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot where you're like, this is this, you know, because it's all additive sculpture, you know. But like that has allowed me to make things inexpensively. So like this piece was laser cut.
Okay.
And I just really love that process because I get my degrees in computer animation.
I see.
So I get to go back to computer design.
Basically build your pieces. You
Yeah,
design the pieces,
and it's
now
just
you need to actually machine them.
right. And I used to plasma, I was plasma cutting for like 8 years, and that's just like, it's rough. You have to clean everything up, and so like Wolf Boy took me 3 months, and it was all hand cut, whereas the shark took me 29 days.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's night and day
Yeah,
with the
it can
process.
change.
So it's going to be on a campus. And this is like 20 feet tall.
Oh,
and
crazy.
then, so these are octahedrons, like 2 pyramids together. The octahedrons are in crystal structures, so like
Okay.
you get down to the molecular level.
Okay.
But it was interesting, so when I was designing it, I had all the criteria from the site visit. We went to the site, and the artists, the finalists, and then the committee. And they told us what they were interested, the themes that they wanted to deal with. So all the octahedron shapes are going to be concrete, and there's going to be parts of them that look like they've eroded and deteriorated, revealing like some inner workings.
Okay.
So the school also deals with like superconductivity and just a lot of other areas like that. So it's geosciences, physics, chemistry is the building. So it's all kinds of students going through there. It's their new space, and it'll be right outside in the grass. And so I wanted something that they could interact with. So even like the octahedron shapes, they'll be able to sit on and kind of,
cool.
yeah. So I'm hoping it's like a space for people to just enjoy and kind of fall in love with.
That's so cool.
So just having the face lit up, it's just emitting that light.
Yeah.
And in the area that it's in, there's gonna be a lot of trees planted and growing over time, so it'll slowly change the environment. So I'm hoping it'll kind of be from a distance like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And then
That's super cool.
yeah, you're like, what is this? And you get closer, and it's like this blue light just kind of emitting from his face.
Yeah. That's
The
amazing.
face of the figure is going to be mirror polished stainless steel.
Oh, amazing.
So you'll be able to, when you go up, you'll see yourself and kind of interacting, kind of activating that space as well.
That's dope.
Another project to commission, I'm doing an octopus.
Okay, cool.
It's for the same client who commissioned the shark.
Yeah, amazing.
So that'll be really cool. I got that CNC cut too. This is etched.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's pretty old, but you can get a crazy amount of detail. This was like, I think the first thing I did just to test it out. So I just use a paint pen and draw on it. So I might be able to do that on like the whole octopus. So what I want to do next, and the octopus is kind of a stepping stone into this, is just combine everything I've done over the last like 15 years from my school. So all the 3D modeling, the etching, the laser cutting, and then just the style I've built up, and just kind of see what I can come up with. Gas is on, and this is argon CO2 mix. And then big welder, and there's a wire inside, spool of wire. So this is a Miller-Matic. It's nice because you can just set the machine to the gauge thickness, the metal you're welding. So yeah, then we just flip it on. Do you want to weld a couple welds?
I'll try. Like so much more difficult than I thought.
Yeah.
In terms of like, look, let me look at your line next to mine. Yeah. Like I fucking butchered.
Yeah,
My guy looks like he's crying.
Yeah. I mean,
That's fun as fuck though.
You see what
I
I mean
love
though,
it.
with like the control?
Yeah,
aspect?
yeah. It's like I can't tell, and like it also everything disappears besides the light, so I can't even tell how far away I am.
Been cool. I love LA. It's just like everyone's just having a good time and, you know, enjoying art and shit. I love that, yeah.
Creative and building.
Yeah, so, and yourself too, man. So you've always been a supporter, so I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem. No problem.